Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 2 of our league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on October 3rd, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Spooky League Challenge, Thursday, October 24th at 6 p.m. Surging Sparks pre-releases start Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m. and League Cup, Saturday, November 23rd at 11 a.m. All Central Time, all at Die Hard Games. Go see more info in this video's description, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, an old friend, Arceus V-Star. On the right, a new friend, Cinderace EX. Our Arceus player did have a mulligan, so they were able to draw an extra card before the start of the game. Now they are starting their turn. They're going first. Arceus V in the active spot, energy attached to it. Squovit hits the bench as well. Everything's going according to plan for our Arceus player's turn 1. Next, our Scorbunny player attaches a fire energy to the active Scorbunny and then plays a Buddy Buddy Poffin. That powerful staple item card allows the player to search their deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less to put onto the bench. Backup Scorbunny found, as well as a Pidgey. Next is the supporter card Arven that allows the player to search their deck for an item card and a tool card. Usually in these stage 2 decks, the item card is that rare candy, but in this case it's going to be a nest ball to search the deck for the Rotom V basic to put onto the bench, and the sparkling crystal will go to the hand, I believe. I don't think we want to attach that until we're going to use it. We could talk about the sparkling crystal as they shuffle up. It's a tool card, Ace Spec. When the Terra Pokemon this card is attached to uses an attack, that attack costs 1 energy less. So that's a way to get around the weird stellar attack energy cost. A Forest Seal Stone is put on to the Rotom V, and then instant charge is used, drawing 3 cards and ending the turn with that Rotom V ability. Play continues back over on our Arceus side as they play an Ultra Ball. That powerful item card allows the player to discard 2 cards from their hand, and then they can search their deck for a Pokemon, either basic or evolution. They're most likely going to find that Arceus V-Star. There it is. It evolves in the active spot. And now Arceus V-Star power ability Starbirth is used. Search your deck for 2 cards. Double Turbo Energy is usually the grab if it's not already in hand to power up the Arceus V-Star. And then maybe another Arceus V or V Pokemon to put onto the bench to accelerate energy to with Arceus' attack. Just depends on what's in hand and in deck and the player's strategy, of course. We will sure find out soon enough what those cards were, as the Double Turbo Energy gets attached to the active Arceus V-Star, and then a Judge actually seems to be the second card that was grabbed. Some disruption that these Arceus V-Star decks are famous for. Don't forget about it. The Judge supporter has both players shuffle their hands, put them into their deck, and then they each draw 4 cards from the top of their shuffled deck. Judge, the great equalizer, could either be good or bad or neutral, I guess. We'll see what is netted here. A Bidoof, okay, that gets put onto the bench, but sadly no other Pokemon V to accelerate to yet, so Squovit will use its Nest Stash ability to shuffle the hand, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then draw 1 card. It is another Bidoof. Okay, we're all in here, as Arceus V-Star uses its Trinity Nova attack. 180 damage thanks to the double turbo energy, and then you can accelerate up to 3 basic energy cards from your deck to your Pokemon V in play however you like. Just fire energy will get accelerated to the active since there's no other ones in play, and play will resume over on the Cinderace side, starting with a Feather Ball that allows the player to search their deck for a Pokemon with free retreat cost, with no retreat cost. Guess who has no retreat costs? That Pidgeot EX. Rare Candy allows the Pidgey to evolve straight away into that Pidgeot EX, and now we've got the all-powerful Quick Search online. Looks like we may be playing some more cards from hand before quick searching. I think our player's working through that right now. Yes. Well, actually gonna go back in with an Arven. Remember, that allows the player to search their deck for an item and a tool. Probably a Rare Candy. And then that Sparkling Crystal again, since it was shuffled back in with Judge. Yep, Sparkling Crystal, Rare Candy. And then Pidgeot EX uses its Quick Search ability to search the deck for a card, any card. And we already know what it's going to be. It's going to be that Cinderace EX. Yep, Quick Search found the Cinderace. You don't have to show it, but we know what we're going for and what's about to happen, so why not? Debating on using that Rotom V's V-Star Power, Star Alchemy, thanks to the attached Forest Seal Stone. That tool gives the Pokemon V it's attached to the V-Star Power ability Star Alchemy, allows the player to search their deck for one card. Half of a Star Birth, but just as effective whenever you got Pidgeot EX Quick Search in play. Forest Seal Stone searched for a card. It looks like it might have been that Earthen Vessel. That item card has you discard a card to search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards. Radiant Charizard not needed right now, so that gets put into the discard with the Earthen Vessel. To search the deck for a Fire Energy and a Darkness Energy, I believe, because the Cinderace EX has a couple attacks. The second one is costing a Fire, Fighting, and Darkness. It looks like this deck is built to use both attacks, so Fire Energy gets attached to the bench Score Bunny. Rare Candy allows that to evolve directly into the Cinderace EX. The Sparkling Crystal gets attached to the Cinderace EX as well. And just have to miss the attack here and end on a Rotom V's Quick Charge. Draw 3 cards. Your turn is over. Now let's see how the Arceus player can punish the lack of an attack on their opponent's last turn. Double Turbo Energy attached to the bench Bidoof, and oh my gosh, top deck Judge. Very good for our Arceus player here. You guys remember what Judge does. Both players shuffle their hand into their deck, and then they each draw 4 cards from the top. So again, another Pokemon V, another Arceus V, something like that, just depending on what's in the player's deck. Would be nice here to accelerate energy too. There's a V-Star, Hisuian Heavy Ball, and Bidoof evolved on the bench now, so there's still a lot more to do here. As the Hisuian Heavy Ball is played next, you can switch the Hisuian Heavy Ball with one of your prize cards, or with one of your basic Pokemon that are in the prize cards. Arceus V was hanging out in the prizes and is liberated by the Hisuian Heavy Ball now. They trade places. The Heavy Ball gets shuffled up, and the prize card, shuffled up into the prize cards, and then the prize cards get relayed out here. So looks like the Arceus deck is firing on all cylinders now. There's the Bidoof Skwovet combo in play. Arceus V hits the bench here. We got the V-Star in hand for next turn. It's looking very good. I think you just do the Industrious Incisors, not the Nest Stash here. We'll see what our player decides to do. Bibarel's Industrious Incisors draw up to 5 cards in hand. Ooh, the Lost Vacuum is found, so that can punish the arguably early attachment of the Sparkling Crystal. Lost Vacuum, of course, has you send a card to the Lost Zone from your hand, and then you can send a Tool or Stadium card that's in play into the Lost Zone. So that Sparkling Crystal gets targeted and sent to the Lost Zone. They put it in the discard pile, but they caught that it was supposed to go to the Lost Zone here. Let's put it under the play mat, because the Lost Zone means it's out of play for the rest of this game. Has there ever been a card that retrieves cards from the Lost Zone? Let me know in the comments, as the Arceus V-Star now finally attacks the active for 180 damage and then accelerates a couple energy onto the bench Arceus V. And player resume over on Cinderace side. Let's see if we can get a a Flare Strike for the knockout. Cinderace's attack Flare Strike for a fire and 2 colorless, 280 damage during this next turn. The Pokemon can't use Flare Strike. And Arceus V-Star has 280 damage, so let's see if our Cinderace player can get there. As they are using Quick Search now to search their deck for any card, and it will actually be that Crispin. Wow, that new supporter card has the player search their deck for 2 different basic energy, accelerate one of them onto one of their Pokemon in play, and then put the other in hand, preserving the energy attachment per turn. But I imagine we're going to see a basic energy get attached to this Cinderace to fully power it up and take the KO. Yeah, that Crispin card definitely pairs very nicely with all these new Stellar Terra Pokemon. As that third energy gets attached to the bench Cinderace EX, its Flare Strike is fully ready to go here. Anything else to do though before the attack? Pidgeot EX free retreats into that Cinderace. Our players deciding if there's any more cards to play before attacking here. And then they attack with actually Garnet Volley. Interesting. I think I would have really liked to have seen the KO on the active, primarily just to keep up with the prize trade. But it looks like they're trying to control the opponent's board actually by taking out their only draw support that's currently in play, but they've got another Bidoof in play. Yeah, this is just a route that they are taking, and we'll see if it pays off for them. That Garnet Volley attack is the second attack of Cinderace EX. This attack does 180 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so you can target the bench as well, knock out that Bibarel, and say, what can you do aside from me taking a hit on your next turn? We'll see what our Arceus player can do as they evolve into an Arceus V-Star on the bench. Bunch of energy in hand. They could start swinging for the full 200 with that Jet energy and the bench Arceus V-Star, but I don't know if that really matters since you're two-shotting anyways. The Rotom V might be nice for later to knock out with something that can do 200 damage flat, but the Psychic energy will get attached to the bench Arceus V-Star. Next, Skwovet will use its Nest Stash ability to shuffle the hand, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then draw one card from the top. Let's see a supporter. Nope, another energy card, Double Turbo Energy. So let's just punch and chill. Arceus V-Star swings on the Cinderace EX for 180 damage. No energy accelerated here because we have all the energy in play that's needed on our Pokemon V. And our Cinderace player will start their turn with a Quick Search on that Pidgeot EX to, you guys know what, search the deck for one card, any card. You don't even have to show your opponent if you really don't want to. Then you can put that card into your hand, shuffle it around, then play your next card, leaving the opponent wondering what was truly grabbed. The mind games are real, as our player decides on a card here. They're checking out their hand, trying to work things out perfectly to continue to stay in this game, as an Earthen Vessel is played next, discarding a Cleffa, I believe, in order to search the deck for 2 more basic fire energy to add to the hand. Another Score Bunny would be nice to get down, or just attacker in general. Maybe something like that Radiant Charizard would be cool too. As a Super Rod is played to shuffle some resources back into the deck from the discard pile. Radiant Charizard and Score Bunny going to be the targets there. Get shuffled back into the deck from the discard pile thanks to the Super Rod. Let's see if there's anything else they could play to find those Pokemon as they play an Arven to search the deck for an item and a tool. Could find the Buddy Poffin, could find a Nest Ball to get out one of those Pokemon. It looks like Buddy Poffin's going to be the choice here as the item card, no tool card grabbed off an item. Buddy Poffin is then played to search the deck for a Score Bunny and Pidgey to put onto the bench. Both basic Pokemon, both have 70 or less HP, so they're both viable targets for this new and improved Battle VIP Pass. Sorry, I had to bring it back into existence. Let me know how you feel about that in the comments, as a Fire Energy is attached to the bench Score Bunny. This is good. Next is Magma Basin. That stadium allows a player to accelerate a Fire Energy to one of their bench Fire-type Pokemon at the cost of it taking 2 damage counters. So we see that happen with the Score Bunny on the bench. We're prepping our backup attacker, and now Cinderace EX will clean up the KO with that Flare Strike, 280 damage during your opponent's next turn. The Pokemon can't use Flare Strike. Arceus V-Star trots into the active spot, replacing its fallen brethren's place, and play will resume over on its side as Double Turbo Energy gets attached to the bench Score Bunny, and it uses Nestash to shuffle the hand, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then draw 1 card. It looks like actually our Cinderace players' strategy of eliminating the opponent's draw power is paying off here. Okay, it looks like the Arceus player cleaned up the KO on the Cinderace EX. Pidgeot EX with Free Retreat flies into the active spot. Play resumes over on Cinderace's side. Can they build another Cinderace? Fire Energy attached to the bench Score Bunny. Replacement Score Bunny joins the bench now as our player checks out resources in the discard pile, eyeing up that Magma Basin to accelerate an energy to the fresh Score Bunny EX, 2 damage counters taken on it as well. And next is that Quick Search. You've got to imagine they can make the Cinderace EX with Quick Search, right? As they find that rare candy off of that Quick Search. No need to conceal that card from your opponent because you know it's going to get played straight away. There we go, we've got a rare candy evolving into that Cinderace EX. The KO is on board now, and I think this pretty much is checkmate as Pidgeot EX free retreats into that new powered up Cinderace. It uses Flare Strike for 280 damage and the knockout with only a Squovit and Bidoof in play for our opponent. This is awesome. Earlier I was like, no, you gotta knock out the Arceus, you gotta knock out the... No, that paid off, sniping that Bidoof, controlling the game. Now the opponent's trying to claw their way back in, but uh-oh. Did I speak too soon? As they put that Radiant Charizard into play over on the left, they are able, wow, to actually use the opponent's Magma Basin to power up that Radiant Charizard. And let's see what else the opponent's got. The player's got a Nest Ball. The Arceus player plays the Nest Ball to search the deck for a basic Pokemon. The opponent has 1 prize card left, so Radiant Charizard's Excited Heart ability is fully online, allowing its Combustion Blast attack to be used for only a single Fire Energy. And that was accelerated with the Magma Basin. The Nest Ball does find the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX. It has a similar ability called Seasoned Skill, very similar to the Excited Heart, where its attack costs less based off of how many prize cards the opponent has taken. Seasoned Skill with 1 prize card on the opponent's side left allows that Blood Moon Ursaluna to attack for free 240 damage. So it looks like our Arceus player might be mounting a comeback here as they shuffle up their deck and get ready for their next move. It looks like, oh no, they were actually doing Nestash now, shuffling the hand, putting it at the bottom, and drawing one card from the top. The KO is not online yet, as a Capturing Aroma is played next by the Arceus player. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon. If tails, a basic. It looks like heads was flipped, so an evolution Pokemon will be found in the form of that Bibarel. We finally got the Bibarel back online here in this endgame. 3 prize cards remaining for our Arceus player. Just a single prize card left for our Cinderace player. This is what it's all about, as Bibarel now uses his Industrious Incisors to fill the hand back up to 5 cards. Our player's moving pretty quickly as they check their discard pile. There is a Magma Basin of their own in hand. There is a Boss's Orders for next turn. Or has our player... I don't think our player's played a supporter card yet. So we could Boss's Orders and take a KO now to keep up in the prize trade. Very cool here. I am at the edge of my seat with this round 2 of our little league tournament Thursday night. Our players are having a good time. Our Arceus player actually may be taking a page out of our Cinderace player's book, The Disruption, with an Iono. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw from the top cards equal to their remaining prize cards. The Arceus player gets 3 cards here, while the Cinderace player just gets 1. Not too bad that since Quick Search is online, and there's not going to be a gust since the Iono was played. No Boss's Orders can be played now. Let's see how our Arceus player chooses to navigate the rest of this turn here in this endgame. There is a switch, so you could switch into your attacker and preserve the double turbo energy on the Skwovet if they choose to. Other than that, it looks like things are finally winding down here in this crucial turn. Double turbo energy actually attached to the bench Charizard, Radiant Charizard. And our player takes a peek at their discard, seeing what resources are remaining, which ones have been expended already. They're going to preserve the switch, manually retreat the Skwovet into the Radiant Charizard. I wonder why they put the... Okay, they must have attached a double turbo to the Charizard. It was not needed to attack, but they probably put it there so that way they could pay retreat next turn in case the opponent decides to leave the Radiant Charizard in the active spot. So Radiant Charizard, thanks to its Excited Heart ability, swings for 230 damage because of the reduction of 20 by the double turbo energy, dealing massive amounts of damage to the Cinderace. And now, oh no, the Cinderace cannot use Garnet Volley here because they've got 3 fire energy attached, and Garnet Volley costs a fire, a fighting, and a darkness. So maybe a bit of an oversight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just 3 fire energy attached to the active. Yeah. Okay. And then the Flare Strike was used that last turn, right? So, which means during your next turn the opponent cannot use Flare Strike. It looks the body language is definitely showing the player attempting a Garnet Volley, 180 damage to the bench Bibarel, but that's definitely 3 fire energy there. Garnet Volley costs a fire, a fighting, and a darkness. Our Arceus player looked at the Garnet Volley attack. Maybe they only looked at the effect of the attack and not the attack cost itself. And it looks like things are ending here as as a win for our Cinderace player. Of course, both players are responsible for game state and everything going on the board. So if one player misses something and the other player does too, I mean, unfortunately, we just have to roll with it, I suppose, here. Also, a reminder to always call a judge if you need to have any questions in any form. But for the sake of the video, I'm sure it was an honest mistake and on both players' sides, and we'll just move forward with it and say our Cinderace player took the win here in our round 2. If you guys know what happened or know better, please just inform us in the comments. Otherwise, a great game we had to dissect here in round 2. What'd you think of this video and the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.